Hey, Remarkable Lifers, this is Craig.
And this is KJ.
That's right, and today we are coming to you to answer a few of your questions and respond to a few of your comments. So we wanted to share a little bit of that today, and but first I want to say thank you, oh my gosh, so much for all of the responses to our videos lately. We have had videos get 9 and 10 times the views. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Your interaction, your comments and your responses, just amazing, just blowing us away. So, on that note, we thought we would, kind of like answer some questions and
yeah, we
respond.
thought, yeah.
There's so many, so many good additions and comments.
Yeah,
thoughts.
we even learned things through some of the responses, some of the comments on some of our videos. So we thought it might be really cool to actually put together this video, to share that stuff with some people.
Right. So, but first, we're going to start off with the number one. So, this is kind of a big one. We just did a tour with a couple of really great guys. Hi, Jim. Hi, Chris.
Hey, guys. Had a blast today.
Yeah, we sure did. But they mentioned, why don't you guys ask people to subscribe? Say, hey, we would like for you, please subscribe. That really helps us. And I know that we've done that in the past, but we haven't actually.
Sometimes we do it at the end of videos, but he was saying, I think you guys ought to do that up front because it's free. Yeah. And just remind people up front, hey, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button below. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's easy. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified every time there's new content.
Yeah, and to remind you, take a look, see if you're subscribed, because a lot of times you think you're subscribed because the algorithm will show you the video.
Right.
So check it out. And I know you're hearing some of the biggest feedback we're getting these days.
You heard it barking.
Come here.
You heard the barking. It's about JoJo. Oh my
gosh. Your close-up.
Oh my gosh. JoJo the dog.
We introduced JoJo last week. This is our new little family member. And she just hates us. She hates us.
Oh yeah.
She's
Pobrecita.
She's about 5 months old. We're getting used to each other and how to use. And she's trying to scroll on my phone.
She is.
She's now officially my daughter, I think. But anyway, so we wanted to just have her make it a little appearance, and she was making it clear she wanted to be heard.
Yes.
But you're going to get down, little Miss Thing, and we will go on. So I've taken an actual snapshot of some of these comments, okay? I want to start with one that's really just an answer.
JoJo. She wanted to be up here so bad.
Scene stealer.
I know she is. Girl, you got to go down. You got to go down. Ham.
Yeah. But I want to start out with one that we asked a question in one of our last videos. We were talking about the food in Mexico and how quesadillas in Mexico City don't have cheese in them. And the ones outside of Mexico City all come with cheese usually, some sort of cheese. So we were like, what the heck? Why? We've heard different things. We heard that it was due to a cheese shortage. We've heard that it was, all kinds of different things.
We heard actually somebody commented and said, that the fillings in Mexico City are so much more flavorful than in other parts of the country that adding cheese alters the flavor profile. And so they don't do that. But unless you ask.
We did get one really interesting comment. We had actually this a couple of times, but the one I have here is from Alicia Olage 1390. Thank you for your comment, by the way. And she said, you asked why the cheese in the quesadilla, there's no cheese in the quesadilla. She said, well, it's because the word quesadilla does not come from cheese, queso. It's a Nahuatl word, meaning it's quetzaditin. Quetzaditzen. Don't ask.
We don't speak Nahuatl, so sorry.
And that means folded tortilla. And so it's really about the roots of that particular dish. So
the word, that's very interesting, actually.
So that might be that we might have actually gotten the answer. So that's awesome.
That's cool.
Thank you for your feedback, Alicia. That brings me to the food question. We talking about food again. We got another comment about the food in Mexico. Now let me find it.
He's got all these saved on his phone, and so
I took screenshots. Give me a break. Mexican cuisine is actually a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. That means there are over 600 dishes, I guess, registered in that. So that is awesome. I knew that it was somehow recognized by the UNESCO organization. That's why I kind of said it, but I wasn't sure what.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And I know we talked about it before, so we won't go into too much detail, but there is so much history behind the food here. A taco is not just a taco. The filling of that taco is complicated. The guisos that are made, so many of them come from the cultural heritage, the food available, historic food. There's nopales. There's
so much you can't even begin to name it all. I mean, and it's all, we've been here for almost going on 2.5 years, and it's all so delicious. It's just amazing. Oh my gosh!
And we can't go get everything. We can't go get everything. So little by little, we're learning, and we're
learning to cook some different things, and and different skill sets, and how to use different things. And we have Mexican friends that are teaching us to make different things. Some of the basics, and that way you can alter it and go in different directions. And it's really cool. We're really learning a lot.
I've learned to make chilaquiles and the salsa for chilaquiles, and KJ's learned to make barbacoa, and
I'm learning to make different salsas.
And
poblano crema.
I took a class in Puerto Vallarta with Chef Miriam Flores, and I learned how to make moles and tamales and those types of things. So there's so many things. But anyway, it is a UNESCO heritage, and I think that's amazing. So the food of a culture is a UNESCO heritage site.
I know. It's an intangible item.
It's an intangible item, but
I don't know.
That was pretty tangible when I ate it.
Right. Enough about food.
Yeah.
Because we can go on that forever.
Right. So let me take a look here. We're going to go to the next one. Aha. So we have a comment from Jorge. Jorge, you know who you are. Thank you. Hey guys, I just heard from family that there was an earthquake. I hope you're okay. Yes.
There was.
There was an earthquake. I got woken up at, and you can look it up to find the date. It was a few days ago. I got woken up at like 2:30 in the morning with an alarm. I have the Sasla app on my phone, and it is an app that alerts people to earthquakes here in Mexico. I don't know if it's worldwide, but it works here in Mexico. And it was flashing.
An alert.
Oh my gosh, my phone exploded. It was the loudest my phone has ever been. It was bright red on the screen.
The whole room was lighting up. It
activated my camera, or my light on my phone, the flashlight, and was flashing. And doing that kind of thing. But it said earthquake incoming, basically. And said it was, gave it like a countdown, 45 seconds, I think is where it started when I woke up. And I'm like, KJ, get up.
I was asleep.
He did not. He goes, is that an earthquake alarm? I said, yeah. And he goes, okay.
And fell right back asleep.
I'm in the door frame, just in case. But the good news here is that generally there's not a fault line that is close enough that it should be catastrophic that we're aware of.
So I was laying in bed and I felt it. It wasn't like, it didn't shake, rattle, and roll, but I could feel a little, and I'm like, is that the earthquake? Wow, okay.
But it was a 6.2 centered about 75 miles away, but it was like 45 miles deep.
No, it was like 53 based on what I saw.
Okay, well, yeah, so it's changed. As it got more
anyways, clarified. It was really deep.
Yeah, but it basically, I went into the bathroom and could see into the bathroom, and the towel on the towel rack was just doing that. We've heard that there was a little more shaking up in Guadalajara, pictures fall off the wall, that kind of thing. As far as I know, I haven't heard of any catastrophic damage.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But we do live in a seismic zone. This was a former, what's that word?
Volcano.
Thank you, volcano. And it's extinct now, but there's remnants of things underneath the ground.
Yeah.
And we're going to educate ourselves a little bit more about that. But as far as I know, there's never been a catastrophic earthquake that's hit here. Just the after,
I don't know.
The distance kind of thing. So, but yes, we felt it, and we're okay. Everybody's okay. Nothing got damaged. All is good. So. Okay, so let's go to next. So, Araceli Kopilov. I don't know what that is, but
sometimes it's hard to figure out where a name starts and where it ends in somebody's handle.
She's a very lovely lady in her picture, but it's 1791, And she just listed a couple of things. She's like, on our video about Ajijic in general, about the things that we like. She said, but we love it, but there's drawbacks. So there's traffic is heavy for a small village. There's a lot of workers trying to get to work and that type of thing. But then there's one retiree driving around in a giant SUV. Well, that is true. Sometimes traffic is a little heavy on the carretera. To be honest with you, it is during certain times of the day and during certain times of the year when the snowbirds are in town.
And also, traffic is a lot heavier here on the weekends. I mean, there's a lot of Guadalajarans with second homes, and this is a vacation destination. And so there's a lot of Mexicans that come into town on the weekends, and especially festivals and all that stuff. The population here just swells because it's a tourist destination.
And we are kind of off the beaten path. So there's one road through this area, from one highway to the other highway. There's only one road that goes,
one main road,
and it goes right through our town.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the locals will use golf carts, even if they're driving a car. We all stay off that. We stay on the side streets.
4-wheelers, motorcycles.
Yeah. There's lots of those. But we all stay off of the carretera as much as we can.
Yeah.
We try to take the back roads.
And most of the locals,
to alleviate traffic. Yeah.
Most of the locals know the village, and so they're not messing around on the carretera. They're hopping down. They're going through town. They're doing their thing. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's Is traffic heavy for here? Yes, but like I tell a lot of my friends from the U.S., I'm like, most of y'all are from major metropolitan areas. The traffic here is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, certain times of day you can get kind of frustrated because you're just sitting and you're waiting. But then when it clears up, you go and you're fine.
Yeah.
So honestly, during certain times of day, it can get a little frustrating. I've tried to go to Walmart, turn around, and came home. But usually that's because there's some sort of accident, there's some sort of situation. Now, what I'll tell you is that in Mexico, there was a law up until recently that if you're in an accident, you cannot move your car. And you have to wait for insurance, wait for police and everybody to come. So that can create a lot of problems everywhere.
Yeah.
So just know that. Okay, so next, infrastructure. So Sharon Gillespie asked us, how has the infrastructure kept up with the growth? I've been debating between Mexico and China to relocate to. So there's another whole new perspective. Okay, so KJ, we've seen some things lately in infrastructure.
We have. So infrastructure is a whole different thing here. The infrastructure here is old, and due to where we are located, it is very difficult to upgrade infrastructure. However, like today, we were driving down a street that's kind of been under construction for a little bit, and I noticed today that they are digging a massive trench in it, which means they're replacing the sewer. Yeah. I'm assuming it's the sewer, right? But yeah, they also did that over in Chapala, right after we got here. So it seems like they're slowly trying to upgrade the infrastructure as the funds become available and as they can.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk lately. The presidente or mayor of Chapala has recently announced that there's been a lot of influx of funds and plans to improve the area. So one of them has been for La Cristiana Park in Chapala. They're planning on taking away the entrance fee and upgrading the park. There's also a new, and I don't know anything about this yet, but a new electric bus line of some sort that's going to run between Islahuacan, which is just on the other side of the mountains from us, into Guadalajara, going through the airport. I know nothing about it. Don't ask me more than that.
Right.
But you heard it here first. But that is usually what they do is they announce some plans and then they expand on it. There's also been a plan here a while back, about a month ago, to do more accessibility and improved sidewalks in Chapala in the whole lakeside region. Again, I have no idea how long that's going to take, what the plan is, where. But again, we have seen several streets here at Ajijic all the cobblestones be pulled up, new trenching put in, and then they're going to lay the new cobblestone down. I don't know what kind of surface, or if they're just going to replace it.
Yeah, visually we see things happening.
Yeah, while we've lived here, they ripped out the main street that runs down to the Malecon, which is Colon. They tore that all out and redid it with a smoother cobblestone surface. So there's been a lot of improvements. I know that there are some challenges with water for people who live up high. They have to truck it in sometimes during dry season. I know that there's been challenges with traffic, as we've discussed.
Right.
They've redone the entire intersection at the Libramiento and on the Carretera, right in front of Laguna Mall and Walmart. And it works so much better.
Oh, it's so much better.
They added like an overflow lane for exit, and it is just so much better.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that are happening, but this area is growing so fast that construction is constant around here. Homes being built, businesses being remodeled, new places going in. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there are plans. We can't really speak to what the big picture is because that's not generally announced.
Right.
Mexico likes to just say, oops, we did that. Because sometimes the money's not really all there.
Well, yeah, or sometimes they'll think they have the money and then they don't. And yeah, so things like that happen too.
Or somebody gets in office and the money goes away, or the money gets reallocated.
Yeah, it gets reallocated to something different that might have been on their agenda or something. Yeah, so who knows?
But there's a lot going on and a lot being announced. That's what we can tell you. Next, I want to bring up, and this is kind of tie in a little bit. So Alana bought us 3 gratitude tacos. Oh my gosh!
Thank you, Alana.
Thank you so much. And if you haven't seen that, we do have a little place where you can donate to help us out. It's a great way. She did it in such a unique way by asking us a question with that. Alana asked, I was always wondering if you'd be willing to do a video on younger people in the Lake Chapala area. What do younger expats or / immigrants do here? So this is a great time to announce that, or to talk about that, and maybe we can do a little more later.
I think that it is a great idea. I think we should do a video on the changing demographics age-wise here locally. What I will say is, yes, the demographic age is getting younger. There's a lot of people that are moving here in their 40s, their 50s. There are families moving in. I personally know of a couple of people who have kids that are now going to the international school here. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot more people in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are moving here locally and stuff. So the demographic is changing, I think, with the ability to work remote.
Yes.
Some people, maybe they got an inheritance. I don't know. We don't really talk about each other's financial situations very much, but I know that there are people that are moving here that work remote. Yeah. The demographic is getting younger. Now, obviously, there's a huge amount of retirees that are still moving here, but that segment of the population, that middle-age kind of segment, is moving here in droves. Yeah,
and there are a lot of groups popping up. There's a group on Facebook called the XYZ.
The XYZ Millennial
group. There are some. There's the Umbrella group that runs a lot of the outdoor activities and stuff, and that draws.
Yeah, for the LGBTQ community, there's the Umbrella group. It's a WhatsApp group. We're seeing a lot of different groups forming for different interests and all that sort of stuff. So it's really cool. But yeah, the demographic is definitely changing.
Yeah, and there are there's different nights that are being held too. I've seen it happy hour night or a bar night or a restaurant night that's really catered to those people who are the younger group of retirees or workers or...
Yeah. And remember, the other thing to remember is 70% of the population here are local Mexicans.
Yeah.
So you got everything from children all the way up. So a huge portion of the population here is right there in, And just to add one last thing to Alana's question, there are so many things that young people do here. Depending on the ages, kids are kids. They're going to do what kids do. There are basketball courts. There's all kinds of outdoor activities, all kinds of stuff. Craig mentioned hiking, all that sort of stuff. There are different groups. Everybody gets involved in everything. So it's really, really cool. It's a great place to actually teach younger people to volunteer. Yeah. So whatever your interests are, whatever younger people's interests are, they can get involved.
Yeah, there's and to pay attention to the things that are in our community, because the little theater, those types of things, those opportunities are out there.
Absolutely.
But hey, so we're gonna do some research on that, Alana. Thank you so much for the comment and the question, and thank you all for your comments and questions. They have been really great. We want to say thank you again for all of you guys and all of your donations and all of your time and your comments. Thanks for all the nice words about JoJo. We would show you, but she's terrorizing downstairs right now.
And so, if you haven't already,
go find Your Truly Remarkable Life.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you all very much.
Bye.